Batter up.
Rock and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rock and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stacks and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NY MLB Talk with your hosts Rob and Chris as we cover Mets, Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. And if you're on YouTube right now, hit that sub button, hit that like button. We would really appreciate it. And if you want to follow us on TikTok, on Twitter, and on TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah. And Twitter too.
Yes, all of that. It's at NYMLB Talk. Rob at Armorosca, myself at CP7NY. So, Rob.
Hey. Yes, Chris. Hi, Matt, by the way.
Good news, bad news for you guys this week.
Yeah, well, it was good while it lasted, right? The Mets lose tonight to the Rockies 4-3. Once again, they left a lot of runners in scoring position, and they hit into a lot of double plays. So we're back to where it was. But we talked before the game, before the show, and the Mets just have to worry about winning series right now. They lost the first game against the Twins. They won that series. So now they got to win this series. They can't lose the series to the Rockies. They can't go backwards. They only could move forward. So at least that 12-game losing streak is over. And let's hope that they don't start another one, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Now unfortunately, you guys lost tonight, but at least you got the losing streak over. You won the series as well with Minnesota, so that was big. You came back and won the next two. So listen, you got to do the same thing now to Colorado, right? You lost tonight. You got to come back and win the next two. Now it's about winning series. You know, you got to start stacking wins, stacking series wins. To try to catch up to the Braves, right? I mean, listen, the Phillies, thank God the Phillies aren't playing good. If the Phillies were playing good, yeah, you'd have two teams to worry about. But and then maybe the Marlins, the Marlins are going to hang in there now, I think. They got a pretty decent team. But the Mets just got to worry about now. They can't worry about what happened before the losing streak. That's over with. That's done. You can't change that. So what you can do is just start winning games now.
Yeah, and Dan, one of the biggest Yankee fans out there, is saying about the Mets they are starting to hit. Yeah, they are starting to hit.
Kind of.
Benj and Beatty hit a home run yesterday. Each of them hit a home run. Beatty hit today. So they are starting to hit, except for one problem. They're not hitting with runners in scoring position. And yes, they did win the series against the Twins. But man, did they try to not win that series? It was like both games you were on the edge of your seats with this team. That bullpen. Now, the game 2 of the Twin series, Luke Weaver pitched really well. Finally, Chris, lowered his ERA down to about 6-something, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and he pitched well. I was happy to finally see him, and he went wild. He was like yelling and everything, so it was good. But yesterday, Williams once again just tries to give the game away, give it back. He gives up 3 hits in the 9th inning. I'm telling you, that guy. Is it that he can't pitch in New York? Is it Alonso really screwed him up, or is it a combination of both?
Yes, you know what I was thinking today? Why don't they trade him back to Milwaukee? Just get anything back for him. You don't have to get anything particular. Maybe Milwaukee will take him back. He'll probably pitch fine there. I think it's just New York. I just think he can't handle New York, man. It's just too much for him.
Yeah, that might be it. And it might be like last year. He actually admitted last year that he was a little frazzled from the Alonso home run, and that affected him in the beginning of the season. Then he got a little better for you guys. He wasn't what he, the pitcher before that Alonso home run, excuse me. The guy was an excellent closer, right? I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
he was arguably the best closer in the game for a while.
Yeah,
he was that good.
Then that home run, it's like boom. Then he gets traded to the Yankees, and we know what happened. And now, and the funny thing is, the first week of the season, him and Weaver looked pretty good for the Mets. They both had 0 ERA, and I was like, all right, maybe this is gonna change. And then boom, 12-game losing streak. It did not change. It was worse. So I don't know I don't know what's going on with him, but he's lucky that he didn't blow the game yesterday. So that's where we're at now. Tonight they lose against the Rockies. Like I said, they just have not been scoring with runners in scoring position. And that used to be the Yankees' problem too, but the Yankees aren't having any problems anymore.
No, you know what? They're playing well. I mean, they swept Kansas City last week, and then they come in and go to Boston and sweep them. So, I mean, they're playing great. Now they're winning in Houston 8-2. And their pitching is just ridiculous how good their rotation is and how deep it is right now, which is even better. And then you got Cole and Rodon making their rehab starts tonight. And they looked pretty good. So you got them coming up soon, in a few weeks. So, but yeah, I mean, the Yankees offense is doing it. The pitching is doing it. I mean, right now there's no complaint. Jazz is starting to heat up. He had a home run in the last game in Boston. He had another one today, got another big hit today. So, yeah, the Yankees are starting to roll.
Yeah, they are. And Chris, with those guys coming back, the Yankees may run away with that division.
Yeah, I would love it, but I still am not going to, I'm not going to say that yet, because Toronto, I know that they got tons of injuries, but they're just hanging around, right? And I think they know how to win. After last season, they know what they got to get. They know what they have to get done. Their first half wasn't great, and they came back in the second half of the season last year, and and they rode that right into and through the playoffs. So, so I'm not giving up on them at all. I'm not forgetting about them. Baltimore Baltimore, I think, is going to play better too. Some of their guys are just not hitting yet. So I think they'll be much better as well. Boston, we just, swept them. I mean, they just can't score runs. I can't believe how bad their offense is. So they got to figure something out.
Yeah, Boston, I'll tell you, some of these teams, we never thought some of these teams would be as bad as they are. The Mets, the Phillies, the Brewers, right? Boston, Toronto. I just could go down the list. It's, some of these teams are just not playing. And Dan is right. It's still April. Yep. I said this the other day. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like they've been playing baseball for a long time. That's right? What the Mets do.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Baltimore, 6 home runs tonight. There you go. See?
I didn't check the box score. Did Alonso hit one of those 6 home runs?
I'll tell you, the Mets are, I mean, not the Mets specifically, but Stearns is lucky that he's not really. Imagine he really was having a great season to start, a great month. Forget it. This would have been even worse,
Yeah, Matt said no, he didn't hit one. Wow. So they had 6 without Alonso hitting them. That's pretty good. Yeah, Stearns right now, and then with the Diaz, I wanted to get into that for a minute. Another thing, right, with the Diaz injury, he's going to be out till at least the All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
Another lucky break for the Mets there. I mean, not that Williams, can an injured Diaz pitch better than a healthy Williams, Chris?
I don't know. You know what? He can't do much worse. Look at it that way, right? No,
Oh yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Adley hit
Yeah,
two.
Adley Rutschman hit 2 today. I did see that. Yeah, I think Baltimore's going to be a problem in this division. I don't think the Yankees are running away with it. I think they're the better team right now, but it's too early. It's only April. Things are going to change. Listen, last April, we weren't thinking Toronto was going to win the division, right? And by the end of the year, they're the hottest team in baseball, and they go on to the World Series, right? So, it's way too early to start. Even with as bad as the Mets look right now, it's still only the end of April, right? They can make this up. They got plenty of time. Listen, if it was July or August, yeah, I would be like, all right, they're done. They look horrible,
Definitely.
but you got 140 games left or whatever, right? There's still so much baseball left. And now you got Lindor is going to be out, what, 6 to 8 weeks, they're saying about. So I think, can Soto, this is going to be a good challenge because can Soto carry this team, right, during this time?
Yeah, well, Bo Bichette last night finally got his breakout hit for the Mets. So let's see what happens. And then he got a hit today. So, maybe he starts hitting like the way we knew he would hit. Yes, Dan said Wrights just hit a home run. So the Yankees
9-2.
Yes. And there's my friend Jimmy Howes. With I don't know what that link is, but Jimmy, how you doing? And yeah, Chris. So Bichette got a big hit last night. But still, they still don't look right. Christian Scott came back from his injury from his Tommy John surgery, and he pitched horrible. He was horrible last night.
And they sent him back down, right?
Yeah, they sent him back down. Maurizio, hey, this is going to show us if Maurizio could play, if he could play full time. He's going to be the Mets shortstop until Lindor gets back.
I think that's the one
Jim.
positive.
Thanks. I just want to thank Jimmy before you get into that. Thanks, Jimmy, because Jimmy is the first guy who ever gave me a start with anything as like a DJ. So thanks, Jimmy. We appreciate it. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, like with the Lindor injury, the one positive is now you're gonna see Mauricio, for about 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever, hopefully, and he could kind of show you what he's got. And listen, even if he does great, hopefully they'll keep him up this time and they'll find a spot in the lineup for him somewhere. But yeah, I mean, now he's got a nice little run here. And hopefully he could, take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, he has his big chance because he really hasn't had a lot of playing time. He's been up and down. He really hasn't had a lot of playing time. So now we're going to see what he could do. And you know what, Chris? Lindor, it seems like Lindor and Soto can't be in the same lineup for some reason, Soto gets hurt. Lindor, Lindor was injured, so he misses, spring training and everything. Lindor gets hurt. Soto gets hurt. Lindor couldn't hit when he came back. It's just it's been like a mess. And Lindor hasn't been hitting anyway. So I don't know. Lindor's going to be out for a while. It's not like Soto's injury, where he came back pretty fast. This one, they said it's going to be a while. So they're going to have to live without Lindor. And thanks, Jimmy, for a while. And we'll see what this kid could do. Maybe this kid plays. I mean, in AAA, he was playing great. So let's see what he could do. I'm happy to see him play. And, when Lindor gets back, he gets back, right?
Yeah. Like, here's one thing I seen with the Lindor. Somebody reported this on Twitter that he's going to be in a boot. He's going to be in a boot for the next week. The Mets won't reevaluate him until 3 full weeks pass. So he can't restart baseball activities until mid-May at the earliest. The strain is in a tricky part of Lindor's calf, per Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah, well, and will Mendoza be here when Lindor comes back?
Right, yeah.
That's another question.
Yeah, they got to start winning. They can't start losing just because of this. You got Soto back. Soto's the guy, and if hopefully Bichette is going to finally get his offense going. That would be a nice little 2-3 in your batting order, right? Bichette doesn't lead off, right? He doesn't.
Well, they had him lead off. They're trying everything, okay?
All right.
But the Mets are like that Abbott and Costello old dear. Who's on first? All right? Really? Who is the Mets first baseman?
I don't know.
I don't
know. What's on third?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's what the Mets are. The Mets are Abbott and Costello routine. Who's on first? The Mets, the other night we were talking about this on that other show that we do, clearing the bases. And Wednesdays? It's like the Mets are a team with 4 shortstops. They got 4 shortstops in the offseason. Yeah, naturally. That's right. So, some of the younger viewers don't know what the heck we're talking about, but whatever. Look it up. Abbott and Costello, who's on first. It's pretty famous.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, so that's what the Mets are. But really, what was he thinking starting this season without a real first baseman? What kind of experiment did he think this was going to be? It's baffling, right? You can't find a first baseman out there. Come on. This did not work, so now you're in trouble. They got to figure that out too.
They could have signed, they could have signed Josh Naylor.
Yeah, I know.
Right, who's doing pretty good in Seattle.
Yeah, we were talking about that. But they signed Polanco instead, speaking about Seattle. Yeah, that's right. And when we're talking about the Mets, another funny thing happened. Wednesday and last night's broadcast, for some reason on SNY was in Spanish for a while. So what happens? Wednesday night we had that other show, so I had the game on my iPad while the show was on, and it was in English, so it wasn't affecting like my phone or my iPad or anything. But last night I turned the TV on, and it's the Spanish broadcaster. So I'm like, what did I do? Did I hit the button, this SAP button? What's going on? So I'm like, I'm going on the menu.
Oh, yeah. Does the SAP button work backwards?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it's Spanish, it'll come up English?
I'm looking, right? And it says English. So I'm like, well, what's going on? And I'm like trying to fix it. I'm rebooting the friggin' TV, and then I'm watching it in Spanish. So I'm like, let me go on my phone for a second. And on the phone, it's in English. So I'm like, I must have hit something. So here we go again. I'm doing the menu, SAP, and it says English. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, maybe it's the TV. So I run in the bedroom. I turn on the TV, and it's Spanish there. So I said, okay. Then I text you, Chris, could you please check the SNY?
Yes.
To see if it's in Spanish.
And it was in Spanish.
It was in Spanish. So I'm like, all right, then it's their problem. And so then Beatty hits the home run, and then the Mets Spanish announcer, it's like a soccer game, where he's like, oh, yeah, right. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I'm like, you know what? Let me put the radio on. I'll listen to Howie. But what is the problem? And I couldn't put my phone on either because it was English, because everything is off by a minute to 30 seconds. Yeah. So my phone's ahead. The radio's ahead. This one's behind. I'm like, forget it. I'll just watch it in Spanish. What are you going to do? And then finally it pops on in English for 2 seconds, and it goes back to Spanish. And then finally it goes back to English. And you found out that it was, okay, thanks for that little info.
Rob's a reader. So he'll read it next.
Yeah. So anyway, then, I found out, on X, I was checking it out, other cable companies, it was in English. So it must have been a Fios problem. But then, the booth came back on, and Ronnie said that Ron Darling said it was happening to them where his headphones were the Spanish broadcasters. So they weren't even getting the right feed to their headphones.
Wow.
Finally, they got it fixed. But Matt, what does Matt say? Mute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I should have just did the play-by-play by myself. But anyway.
That, or you know what? Go old school. Shut the TV off and put the radio on. Right? There's that.
Yeah.
It's the one sport I think you could still listen to the radio. Right?
Yes.
I think
Right.
listening to a game on the radio is great.
But the thing that gets me, Chris, is it happened 2 nights in a row. Wouldn't you fix it so that it doesn't happen on Thursday? Where it happened, the pregame show was in English, and then the game starts and it's in Spanish. And like I said, I was screwing around with that SAP button for like about 20 minutes or so. But I just had to bring that up because I thought that
maybe it was Lindor, because Lindor's out now. Maybe he's fooling around.
Yeah. Oh, so another thing. All right. So the Mets win. They break the losing streak, and then they win last night. And then I got to see all this other nonsense. Okay. So I'm like, all right, let me watch the post-game show, because of course I haven't been watching the post-game shows because who wants to watch the post-game show when they lose every game? And yes, definitely we have one of the best radio teams in baseball. So what happens? I'm waiting for the post-game show to go on, and they're showing Citi Field. And after the win, they have Mr. and Mrs. Met riding a bicycle built for two around the friggin' field. Why? And then they have the cheerleaders. You got that picture? This drives me crazy.
No, actually, wait. This is our new the new part of our show. I'm just gonna put it up real quick.
Okay, the new part of our show.
This is the get off my lawn part of the show, where one of us has to complain about something that's part of the game that we don't want to.
Hey, great, Chris. That's great. We're going to keep that. That's good. Yeah. All right, get off my lawn. I'm going to complain about something. Put that picture up of the cheerleaders.
There you go.
Listen, this is baseball. I don't want to see cheerleaders. I don't want to see dancers. I don't want to see Mr. and Mrs. Met dancing with them, waving flags. I don't want to see any of that nonsense. I want to watch baseball. All right? It's been going from one extreme to another now, where I understand this generation, it's hard to keep these kids interested in anything for longer than 5 minutes. Okay, I understand that, but do you have to have wiffle ball being played during a game? I'll tell you, I'd grab my kid and make him sit in that seat and watch the game. That's it. Do we have to have people dancing on the dugout? Mr. and Mrs. Met riding a bicycle, people singing My Girl when the Mets are losing 12 games in a row. Let's see if I could keep complaining. What else I could complain about with this? Because I don't complain a lot, but I'm telling you, this 12-game losing streak, and some of this stuff just drives me crazy. It's like everything's. Then the Mets. Remember last year they had that twee girl who spits on the internet, whatever.
Yes.
Throw out the first pitch. All right. Obviously, it's because they're trying to get younger fans. But give me a break. Michael Simpson. Yeah, I mean the cheerleaders are more interesting than.
Unfortunately, yes.
Touche.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh man. Yeah. All I want to see is Apple. See, that's good. In fact, I told the story a couple of weeks ago when Jeff McNeil was back with the A's. His son was so excited because he loved the apple coming out of the hat. And Jeff had to explain to him, we don't want to see that this weekend. And he didn't even have to explain it because they didn't see it that weekend. Because the A's destroyed the Mets. So there's my part of my
Get off my lawn.
get off my lawn. That's great, Chris.
Brought to you by the Staten Island Ferry Hawks.
Oh yeah,
Who are
let's talk
opening
about
this
them for a
weekend.
second. Let's get into that for real quick since you brought that up. The
Yes.
Staten Island Ferry Hawks this is their opening weekend, and let's hopefully it doesn't rain both games out because the weather's supposed to be really crappy in New York. But and that's good. Where do you buy Scott's turf builder? Yeah,
Good time to put it down now.
where is my copy about this? All right, so they have $5 tickets, which is great. $5 two Nathan hot dogs for $5. Where could you get that? $5 domestic draft beers and $5 popcorn. So that's a great deal. I mean,
Yeah,
and they probably won't lose 12 games in a row. So
there you go.
why not go there if you're in Staten Island? That's a good
turf
word too.
builder.
If you're in Staten Island, check out a local team. These kids, they play their hearts out. And I just, if you want to go there for a very affordable time for your family, hey, and where else could you get $5 beers in Staten Island?
And we had their GM on Wednesday, and he told us they got a whole new T-shirts and stuff like that. They got all that new stuff, merchandise store and everything else. So obviously all new food options he was talking about, obviously the Nathan's hot dogs. So definitely check it out. Like you said, for $5, you can't go anywhere else for $5, especially to see a baseball game, professional baseball game. It's not the major leagues, but it's the independent league, so it is what it is.
It's called the North Atlantic League, and we had Gary Perrone, the GM, the other day. He was really good. We appreciate him coming on, and get involved if you're in Staten Island with the community. We're going to try to get the people from the Brooklyn Cyclones to come on also. So we'll see what happens with that. And we got to try to get some Yankee stuff for Chris going again.
Or we should try the Long Island Ducks.
Yeah. Well,
Power finally came back.
Yeah, he got bombed, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he pitched well, but
he didn't pitch well.
I don't know how to feel about it. I guess I'm happy that he's back, at least in the United States. He doesn't have to go to Japan or Mexico to play. So I guess it's good for him. I don't think he'll make it back to the majors. If he's getting shelled in pitching for the Ducks, I don't think he's gonna get any call from the major leagues.
No, it's over. And Jimmy, definitely. And Jimmy, by the way, I'm waiting for you to come on the show. I want to talk Mets with you. We both want to talk Mets with you. So we have to make this happen. Jimmy is a great DJ. For forever. He's been a DJ. He's been on the radio forever. He's a really good guy. And, we definitely want to have him on the show. Chris, so I'm just thinking about that. That's great. Get off my lawn. When did you come up with that?
Just when you were talking, because that's what it kind of sounded like, like you're complaining about everything. Like the Mets are probably like, we're trying to, we're doing this for the fans. We're going through a losing streak. We want to keep you guys entertained, but just win games. Forget about the entertainment. Entertain us by winning games. That's what we want to see. We want to see Soto hit a home run. We want to see Bichette hit a home run. That's what's going to entertain us as baseball fans. Forget about like you said, forget about the cheerleaders and the mascots running around on their bikes or something. I mean, like, who cares? Win games, hit home runs.
Yeah, Chris, nothing was worse than opening night on ESPN with the subway car and the trolley and the cheerleaders and the Yankees and Giants having to run out with all that crap going on, right? I mean, when you were watching that, what did you think?
I thought you know what? They're trying to do what like football does for opening night, and they're trying to be like all the other sports, but that's what made baseball, so great, was that they kept things simple. They kept it, they were their own sport. Like they never followed everybody else's lead
Right.
with this stuff, So I don't know. It was over the top, but then again, it was Netflix. It's their first time on, having a baseball game on their network. So I guess they wanted to do something special. So listen, I'm sure a lot of the fans like that, but
Yeah.
Old time fans like us are not gonna appreciate that. So
Old men who yell, "Get off my lawn!" Yeah,
Right.
Jimmy, I know you love the Mets, but I definitely want to have you come on. Yeah, the presidential races and National Park for the Nats was fun. I was there a couple of times for that, and that is a lot of fun.
Don't you guys do races, right? Don't you have like it's in like a Subway and a pizza guy?
Yeah, they used to do it. Yeah,
5 boroughs?
and they had the LaGuardia plane, and yeah, they always come up with something new.
There you
I
go.
don't know. Yeah, they should do that. But see, the Yankees don't do gimmicks like that. They don't go gimmicky, right? They don't have
The bad thing with the Yankees, what they do is like in between each pitch, like they got all the music going on really loud now,
I know.
which sucks. I think that's the worst thing. And supposedly the players wanted it, like Judge wanted that, so they're doing it. And none of the fans like it.
No,
because you can't talk to anybody or enjoy the game.
And I hate the PC Richards thing, man. That just drives me crazy.
Oh, the whistle?
Yeah. I don't want to hear. And the Mets did that last year. I think it was last year. I'm glad that I haven't heard that now, because I can't stand that. And then, yeah, the Yankees, it is loud. You're right. I'm surprised that it's do that.
Very loud.
But if Judge and the players ask for that, then definitely they're going to do that. Yeah, hot dog, mustard, and relish, definitely. City, yeah, okay, City. Yeah, that's a good idea.
5
except for
cents,
one,
yeah.
Because here's what's going to happen if they ever did something like that. You know how many fights there would be in the stands? Forget about it. It would be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. All right, we'll set it up whenever you're ready. I know you mostly do nights with your show, so I want to plug your show and everything. You get that up on the screen on our next show. So that's good. We'll definitely talk about that. I'd love to talk to you again. Yeah, that the Yankees. But the Yankees don't do the other gimmicks. You're not going to see cheerleaders at Yankee games, okay?
No, I hope
the
not.
subway and the subway and the trolley car were Netflix things, and they were playing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that was nothing. But the city connects, and people were putting city. Are the Yankees going to have a City Connect uniform, Chris?
I think they're going to do.
Rumor?
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is the alternate road jersey. It's going to be like their midnight blue one that they use for like spring training, the blue one. I think they're going to go with that as like an alternate road jersey. But so far, there's no City Connect. But Stanton, I think it was Stanton that made a comment that he said, I would love to see the Yankees do a City Connect jersey. And I'm like, oh, please, no, just don't.
Because that one I showed you was for the Bronx Zoo. It was the Yankee uniform.
Yeah, it looked like a
zebra stripes.
Yeah, that looks bad. Oh my God, that was awful. If they do the blue road jersey, I would be fine with that.
Oh yeah, the Orioles City Connect. We put that up a couple weeks ago. Oof. Horrible. Said Kansas City Royals too. Most of them are horrible. I don't know, who are they trying to connect with? That's what I want to know. With those uniforms, they're jokes. I know it's about money, and I know every team wants to sell these City Connect uniforms. It's revenue, but some of them are just ugly. Who wants that uniform? It's just crazy. But and I want to say today is Carlos Beltran's 49th birthday, Chris.
Oh, there you go. Maybe they'll they'll name him manager soon for his birthday.
Yeah, to celebrate his birthday. I can't believe he's already 49, man. I remember that one at bat that everybody remembers.
And you know what's the crazy thing? Like I was watching it, I'm watching it at home, and I think the count was 0-2. And I said, he's going to throw that breaking ball.
Right.
Like low or something, and he's going to get him. And sure enough, he threw the breaking ball and he looked at it.
My seat, I was sitting on the third base line. Okay. I was pretty close to the plate. I had great seats for that game. And I saw that, like you said, I saw that coming. Like I saw that pitch from where I was sitting, and he froze. And you want to know something? Everybody bust on him, but that was a great pitch, Chris.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got to give Wainwright credit because that was a great pitch. But still, Beltran's got to. You got to go down swinging. You can't go down looking. Third strike.
I agree.
The last out of the game.
I agree. And man, like I've said to you before, that was some long ride home to Staten Island.
I can imagine. Yeah, I never liked those rides home after a Yankee loss.
Yeah, well, you haven't had as many as we have. Okay. I also had to drive home when Piazza's fly ball died and the Yankees won the World Series at Shea Stadium, where I had to drag a kid. What was he, like 8 years old? He was yelling and screaming, and I had to put my hand on his mouth and drag him out of Shea Stadium.
He was a waiter at the Jesus.
Yeah.
If he's old.
He's old. What about it?
There you go.
As I'm coughing. All right. So I wanted to ask you the other night on clearing the bases. One of the questions we talked about baseball brawls. And by the way, put that graphic up for that show one more time because I want to plug it. Clearing the Bases, the show that we're on, it's a collaboration. Some of the guys from the Romantic About Baseball, look at that, those graphics. Romantic About Baseball podcast, and it's so much fun. It's like it's a baseball quiz show basically. And if you haven't seen it yet, you could go to our YouTube page. If you haven't subscribe. Check out past episodes. We're calling each episode an inning. So last week was the 4th inning, and this Wednesday it's going to be the 5th inning. And it's just a lot of fun. It was great. And one of the questions was about baseball brawls. Yeah, nobody knows where that ball. Yeah, correct. It was about it's about brawls, and we talked about. We said the question was, are they good or bad for baseball? So, and we talked about brawls. So I want to talk to Chris for a couple of minutes. Chris, you said it on that show, but I'll ask you again. What is your favorite or most memorable baseball brawl that you remember?
Well, Matt definitely remembers this one, right? Because it was the Yankees and the Orioles. Benitez hitting, I think it was Tino, and that just started this big brawl. And Strawberry was running into the Oriole dugout. It was great. If anybody gets a chance to see that one, that's probably my favorite one. But you know what? The one in Boston when Pedro threw down Zimmer. That was like peak Yankee Red Sox rivalry in the early 2000s, right? I think that was 03, 04, whatever. That was great. We kind of went over it. Is it good? I said, is it good for baseball? Yes. And then is it dumb? Yes, it's also dumb because you know what? If someone gets hurt fighting over, something stupid, was it worth it? Because one of your star players could get hurt, in the middle of this fight, not even fighting. He could get, thrown to the ground or something, and God knows what could happen, right? We've seen, freak injuries happen that way. So is it good for baseball? Yeah, because all the fans love to see it, right? We all do. I mean, they're great. But they're also dumb because, someone might get hurt, then you're going to lose a guy for a couple of months or whatever over nothing, right? So so it's good for baseball, but it's also dumb.
Yeah, and I agree.
What was your favorite, Rob? I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, my favorite I said was Ray Knight and Eric Davis in 1986.
Oh, right.
That was great because Ray Knight was an amateur Golden Glove boxer. So he threw off the glove and he duked it out, and he won that fight. But that was just that team. The 86 Mets were in a lot of fights, a lot of brawls. I mean, look at some of the players they had. Kevin Mitchell, who would ever mess with that guy? No one. I mean, if Strawberry, that team was just full of, crazy players. We know that. But that was great. But also another one that, this is how old I am, that I saw live when I was a kid was, of course, in the 73 National League playoffs, Cincinnati and the Mets, Bud Howson and Pete Rose, where, let's face it, but Pete Rose kicked Bud Howson's butt. I mean, that's no contest. But that's another one where the Mets almost had to forfeit that game because the crowd was throwing everything at the Reds, and Sparky Anderson called the Reds off of the field because the Met fans were just throwing bottles. That's when they used to have bottles of beer, so they were throwing bottles and they were throwing soda, hot dogs. Everything.
Now you wonder why they don't give us bottles at the games.
Yeah. Wayne Garrett. That fight, Jimmy, Bud Howson really, Pete Rose really body slammed Bud Howson, and it was just unbelievable. The crowd went nuts. You're right, Chris. That's one of the reasons why. Now forget it. Listen, if you want to talk about crowds throwing stuff, I'll never forget the Yankees. When Reggie Jackson was on the Yankees, they had a Reggie Jackson candy bar day or night. I forgot what it was. And listen, the Reggie bars were pretty good. When you were a kid, if you had one of those with a cold glass of milk, they were delicious. But what did the Yankee fans do? They started throwing, and I forgot who the Yankees were playing. Maybe they were playing the Red Sox. I don't know. But they started throwing and pelting the other team with the Reggie bars. I mean, candy bars. Like, how crazy is that?
That's nuts.
Yeah, Joe Dell, definitely a classic. But that was, those are two of my most memorable brawls. But there are other ones in baseball. How about Robin Ventura and Nolan Ryan?
Oh yeah. Oh boy. I don't think Robin Ventura wants to remember that one.
No, because he got his butt kicked by an old man. You don't mess with him.
Exactly. And you know what? You see that photo everywhere. Him holding him in like a headlock and pounding him, it's pretty bad. Like that's what this guy's going to be remembered for, is this fight.
Well, that and a Grand Slam single.
There you go. That's right.
The only guy to hit a Grand Slam that turned into a single. But you know what? If that was a regular Grand Slam, for the moment, it was amazing. I was at that game in the pouring rain. It was 2 games, really. That game was so long, but every pitch you were going crazy. But, it's more memorable because it was turned into a single, right? So now people know the Grand Slam single.
Yep.
And there's the picture. I know, Ventura. Look at Nolan Ryan go, and he must have been about friggin' I don't know how many years older than he was in Ventura.
Yeah.
They had a Bloody Rangers jersey giveaway this year.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great. That's great. It really, that's great.
And that was all Ventura's blood too. That's not even right.
Oh, that is great. All right, I got a couple other things, but before that, tell us what happened with the Yankees and the Astros tonight. We forgot to talk about that.
Well, the game is still going on, but they're up 12-4 in the 8th inning, I think.
Damn.
Yeah. So the Yankees are up. Looks like they're going to win. And that's great, to start off this series after sweeping Boston. I mean, that was big to go into Boston. And I've mentioned it a couple of times already, a few times, that the Yankees have to do better against, Boston, Toronto, the whole division. Last year they
Yeah.
had losing records against Boston and Toronto. They can't do that again this year if they want to win the division. Or even the number one seed in the American League, if they want to go that far, right? So they definitely have to do better. And this was a good start, especially after getting swept by Tampa, last week, or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, O's are next. I think it would be great. It'd be I think that'll be a good litmus test for both teams, Baltimore and the Yankees. Can Baltimore, I mean, if the Yankees stay hot, as hot as they are now, that'll be really good, to see how good Baltimore is.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about Alonso for a minute, since Matt's here. And the next time Matt comes on, I'm sure he's going to be wearing his Alonso jersey, one of them. But
of course,
Alonso. This is including today because I don't know what Alonso did tonight. But he's batting .213 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and his OPS is a 700. So it's like
not good.
Do you think it's because of that contract and that he has a lot of pressure, that he's got to be the man in Baltimore now?
You know what? I'm sure it's a little bit, but that whole team really has struggled offensively. I'm sure Matt would say that too. The entire team is really struggling offensively. Gunnar Henderson, I don't even think he's hitting 200. So
yeah,
I think it's a team thing, but we did talk about it too. I think last week or the week before that Alonso coming into this year had the biggest dip in bat speed in the majors,
right.
or one of the top 5 or top 10. So, that might be a part of it too, but he's a guy that's going to make adjustments, right? So I think he'll be all right.
He's over 200.
He's over. Okay, that's Gunnar, right? All right. Yeah, Gunnar is another guy. I mean, he's in his prime.
Yeah.
That guy's going to, he's going to get going.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't. It's he didn't hit great last season, right? And
yeah,
now he's got to start hitting. So maybe that wakes him up. He hit a home run, he got a couple of hits, so maybe that wakes him up.
And you know what? And Alonso's never going to hit like for a high average.
No.
If he hits 230, 240, that's going to be pretty high. You just want to get him 35, 40 home runs. That's at least in that. If he hits at least 30, 35, you'll feel better. You'll take the 230 batting average and the whatever he's going to do defensively at first base.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't hit for power last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 80 RBIs, but they were expecting bigger things from Gunnar Henderson, especially with Alonso there.
They should. This guy's like when he's on, he's like a MVP candidate. That's how good he is, right?
Yeah,
so I'm sure he'll get going.
Yeah, it's early yet. Like Dan said in the beginning of the show, it's only April, which is true. But before you know it, it's going to be May, and you're going to say, "Well, it's only May," and then June, and then
no. Yeah, once you get into May, you start to say, it's not that early anymore, right? Because then you start getting into, we have like 40 games in or something like that. So,
and now the David Stearns, because you got to say with Diaz and now Diaz's injury, so the Mets, the Mets dodge a bullet with Diaz. Do you think Diaz is going to come back and be what he was, or do you think now this is it? He's on the downhill. He lost. Remember, he lost speed on that fastball, right? He started to lose it at the end of last season. So that's one thing. And then Alonso, like you said, with bat speed. Is that another thing that Stearns just didn't want to get into that contract because he knew that what was going on and he knew that the back end of that deal was going to be bad? Or do you think that he just wanted his own guys? I mean, they need a first baseman, like we said before. What do you think, Chris? Do you
I think it's a combination of both things. I think he wanted his own guys, and listen, maybe they seen that stuff. The analytics were telling him, listen, don't give this guy more than X amount of years. To Diaz, Alonso. I think we talked about it, right? I think they once he didn't want that extension a couple of years ago, I think that left a bad taste in their mouth, and they were like, all right, if we can't come to an agreement, then that's it. So.
I think so. You're right. But remember,
they signed a first baseman. That goes without saying. I mean,
they should.
There wasn't many options, but you know what? They should have been in on Josh Naylor. I don't know why they didn't get in on that guy.
I have no idea. You got to remember, though, they did want Diaz back. They didn't get a chance to offer. They were going to offer more money. So maybe they just dodged a bullet by Diaz wanting to go to the Dodgers.
I think so.
He may get his World Series ring, but he may not be pitching in the World Series, which is not fun. I want to talk real quick about the Reds. This is a pretty wild stat, okay, with the Cincinnati Reds, who they were tied with the Cubs for first. I don't know what either of them did tonight because I didn't check that out. I was watching the Met game. But for the Reds, De La Cruz and Sal Stewart have combined to produce 66% of the Reds' runs so far this season. Could you imagine that?
Wow.
Two guys, they've combined to produce 66% of the Reds' runs. All right, so the rest of the team only 44%, and they were tied for first. What do you think about that stat, Chris?
That's pretty amazing. The Reds have started off really good too, right? I think they're in first place, or they're right up there in their division. I know the Cubs have just won 10, 11 straight. Cincinnati, they were tied going into tonight. The Cubs and the Reds. So yeah, the Reds got a chance. Can they stay up there? Listen, they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
They backed into the playoffs last year. I'll say it that way. Thanks to the Mets. The Mets kind of helped them out, getting them in. But Mauricio at first base, why not? Yeah, hey, they've tried it. How many guys already at first? So why
not try? You're right. I mean, shortstop's his natural position, but
Dan, you're next. Just letting you know, get that first baseman glove going.
There's no way Dan's putting on a Mets uniform. That's for sure. Cincinnati. Let's see if Cincinnati keeps going good because Dr. Jerger said he'd like to come back on in maybe May or June, the end of May or the beginning of June. So if the Reds that would be great for him if the Reds are doing what they're doing now. But I just thought that was an amazing stat. And, Nimmo, I'm going to go back to that, cleaning of the Mets. Nimmo is having a pretty good season so far for Texas, right? He's batting .304 with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and an .892 OPS. So that was a mistake. I don't know if they were trying to dump the salary. I don't believe that BS about the friggin' defense, okay? That's BS because the first base, like you said, it proves that's BS, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that one made no sense to say that, right? But I think with Nimmo, you weren't going to trade him and get anything back for him because his contract is bad, right?
Yes.
So you were just going to get what you got back with Simeon was an older guy, with the bad contract, basically with Nimmo. And you're hoping that, hey, maybe the change of scenery and he could go back to his younger days, right? Because Simeon is a former MVP. So maybe he could rekindle a little bit of that because he had a bad year last year. And so far it hasn't happened. So
not happening. And this one's for you and Dan and any Yankee fans out there. Check this out. This is the 27th consecutive season that the Mets have been on WPIX Channel 11. Can you believe that? That was the home of the Yankees.
Yeah.
And the Mets have been on, not a lot. I think, what did it have 22 games a year or something on there. But still, the Mets have been on WPIX 27 years. Where the hell have these years gone? when I read that today, that's an amazing stat. I can't believe they've been on Channel 11 for 27 years. Channel 11 was home of the Yankees, Chris.
Yeah, that is incredible. I remember, PIX used to be the Yankee station, right? And now it's the Met station. Well, like you said, for 22 games or whatever, but yeah, that's pretty amazing. I'm happy though that they're still on free TV, right? With all the streaming and all the other crap that's going on. I'm happy that the Mets still have a free channel going on there. I wish the Yankees still did. I know they were on Channel 9 for a while, right?
Which was weird because that was the Mets channel forever. Right, so that was weird. But also, then 1 year or 2 years, the Mets and the Yankees were on PIX Channel 11. And then the Yankees just disappeared. So the Yankees aren't free anywhere. The Mets, you're right. 22 games, free, about 22 games. I don't know if that's the right amount, but still, at least it's free for a while.
Exactly.
And the Philadelphia Phillies, who are having a horrible, horrible season, have DFA'd Tijan Walker, ex-Met. Walker was 1-4 with a 9.13 ERA. What do you think? Should the Mets try to sign him, Chris?
No, I don't think so. Well, hey, if you don't want your team to do good, you should sign him. But no thanks. If I'm the Mets, I'm staying away from that guy. Maybe listen, unless you think your pitching, program can fix him, and if he'll accept going down to AAA and trying to impress you down there or something like that, sure. But no, I wouldn't touch that guy.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, he was decent when he was with the Mets. And I guess his first year with the Phillies, didn't he have a good postseason for the Phillies? Or a decent postseason a couple years ago for the Phillies?
Yeah, maybe.
But stay away from him. If he pitches again, maybe he ends up somewhere like I don't know, the White Sox or the A's or something like that. I don't know. Which another thing with the A's, they got to get to Vegas. We were talking about this real quick on the other show. They got to get to Vegas. It to me, it's a disgrace for Major League Baseball team to be playing in that stadium, right? It's an embarrassment. That's not a Major League stadium. This is major leagues. I mean, come on, I don't understand it. It's a joke when you look at that. I mean, spring training games get more people than the A's.
Yeah. Oh, I don't understand why they're doing it in a in a AAA ballpark. Like, why couldn't they make them play in San Fran or the Angel State, like one of the California stadiums? I don't understand why they did this. It just. I'm sure they could have worked something out with the scheduling, but I guess not. And they had to go with a minor league, facility, but it's just bad. You know what? Well, listen, last year Tampa had to play in the Yankees single A, right? Farm place. So farm stadium. So I don't know. It's stupid, but what is it for another year? I think one more year after this, right? Or
I think so. I saw the stadium. Someone took a picture of it from their hotel in Vegas.
Yeah, it's being built. It's not like it's it is a real thing. So we'll see. I think it's another year, but it is what it is right now. But a little update with the Yankees. They're winning 12-4. But I think it's going into the ninth inning. Bottom of the ninth, but Stanton was taken out with it looked like a leg injury. So we'll see.
Listen,
Stanton's going to be out a while.
He almost made it till May, right?
Yeah, not bad.
So now he'll be out. You need him. He'll be back for the postseason.
So maybe we'll see Dominguez come back up. Or not back up, but he'll probably come up.
But it was it's been an hour already. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
An hour of me complaining, but no, it's been a fun show as usual, Chris. I like when we get to do a show with just me and you, because we've had a lot of great guests, and listen, the guests are a lot of fun, but sometimes you just want to talk baseball, right?
Yes.
And
and to air out some frustrations, and
yeah,
so
it was a lot of fun. We'll be back Monday, 3 p.m. I don't know if we have a guest yet. We might have a guest. You'll know on Monday, or when we know, you'll know. So we'll
and then
see
Wednesday
everybody.
night, of course, is our
Yeah.
show, Clearing the Bases. We'll be there Wednesday at about 8:30 on YouTube. Check us out there.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate you too.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we really do. And if any, real quick, could you see this? This is Matt's book.
There you go.
I keep it with me for every show now. It really touched me. Check it out if you on Amazon. My Emily by Matt Patterson. What a book. Just check it out. Check the reviews. And like I told Matt this already, I read this book, and it really touched me, and I keep it with me for every show. I really do. So check that out.
You know what? It's funny because I've told Matt that I leave it out. Like it's right on my thing where I have my TV. It stays up there. Now I have 2 copies, thanks to Matt, but I have 2 copies and they just sit there, because when you read it, you get so attached to it. Like you're almost part of the story, kind of, but you're in, like, you're part of you're in the story, not part of it. You're in the story. It's just a great book to read. It's a quick read, amazing story. Definitely pick it up. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely pick it up. And like I said, it's with me for every show. Anyway, Chris, that's it. We will see everybody Monday at 3 p.m. Have a great weekend.